ordinance, that would be something where the tenant or potential tenant could pursue legal action against the landlord, but it's certainly, it's not the city code office or the city council's responsibility to get involved at that level. Where it does come into play is you do have a tenant who has been convicted, and I'm specifically looking at 134.9. You are at risk of not having your permit renewed to be able to rent within the city of Sunbury. So it is definitely on you as a landlord to know your tenants and to make sure that they don't have past convictions. That's, I think, where I would be most concerned with is making sure you know what their criminal history is, if anything. But certainly the city of Sunbury and the city of Sunbury code office can then deny you a permit if you are renting to convicted felons. Certainly there's a lot more to it, but just in general.
So if you have a tenant that moves in without a criminal record and then gets one while he's living in your rental, how does that go back? How would we know whether or not they have had any kind of incident with the law that we would have to be made aware of?
The only thing that the ordinance says is a convicted drug felon.
Drug.
It's under
Just drug.
controlled substance, drug, device,
We're not
and
talking about
contraband.
We're not talking about,
They can still
but
read this.
But even so, if something happens, how do we go about that? How do we find out?
they would still have to follow
Check over
the,
here?
they would still have to follow
That would be.
the guidelines that's set forth by the state to make
Because
it.
if they move in
You
now,
have
we
to
may have to
register.
do that.
You don't
Might get a drug charge.
You have to contact your representative and say, I'm going to this. But that's, they'll do some research and say, you can't. Supposedly.
It's a
Very well.
really
Very well. Yes, sir.
great question.
Specifically, what she was kind of leaning towards, we all know race, sex, religion, as far as,
Sure.
the 7-year drug conviction, you can't rent for 7 years. That's the part I called the ACLU. They're not saying anything yet. They're monitoring.
All right, it
So
says,
what's gonna happen is, you're gonna tell me I gotta get, first of all, I don't want that going on, let's face it.
Sure.
Things happen though. So I evict this person, they come after me, then I go after Mike, you guys. I think specifically that's more, it's not, do they have kids? What's their religious background? It's specifically that 7-year thing that's the part that I don't know that's
what it states,
It's not legal.
It's after this ordinance went into effect. And it's not an arrest, it's a conviction, it's a
Correct.
felony drug conviction.
Well, that's fine, they did their
And
time.
if it's before that date, you can rent it.
It's not before that date, let's say.
If it's after the 12th, if it's after whatever it was in 2012, and you're aware of it, and you rent to them,
So you're
then
not
we got
aware
a
of it.
problem.
You're not
If
aware
you're
of it.
not aware of it, or whatever, then it comes out, then you'll have to evict them. And that's what the ordinance is.
Let me say this, Dave.
I don't expect it to
People
happen.
make
but
mistakes, all right? Let's get it. Everybody's made a mistake sitting in this room.
Everyone in this room.
Okay, everybody in this room has made a mistake. That comes back onto the property owner, being yourself. If you get a tenant that openly says, hey, I made a mistake in 2015, and this is why. If he openly says, look, I'm sorry for what I've done, it will not happen again, you feel comfortable with that? Say, okay,
No,
I'll
I'm
accept that.
specifically.
But
that
if
7-year problem.
if it does occur again while he's running from you, that's where the punishment comes down onto the property owner.
But if it happened after the 12th,
If it happens after the 12, he can't rent it. That's what the ordinance says.
What I'm saying, if he does,
Even if he does, he has to evict.
Well,
If
see,
he
that's,
does it unbeknownst.
see, that's where the ACLU, you're gonna follow, it's crushed.
Well, we're just gonna have to find that out if and when the time comes.
Yeah, well, the
Because it's been
ACLU is
tested.
saying we're
You're
under.
gonna cost the taxpayers
It's
money.
been tested
It's
in other
slippery slope.
communities, and it is, and the community prevailed.
It falls under.
But we're not- hey, we're not-
punishment.
we don't have
Not-
all the answers, right?
Yeah, We're not sitting here to discuss this, we're giving you an overview of what we can do or what we're gonna try to do to help you and make things better for you as landlords, okay? What you do with it is it's your choice. And if you have any situations that we can help you with on a one-to-one basis, we'll be more than glad to do that.
Well, it makes no sense if a girl changes her life and she's working down at National Beef and she's working there 3 or 4 years and she's paying your rent every day, but she committed a crime in 3 years, or a year ago, and she's working at, and she's really
It has to be a convicted drug
Felon.
felon.
not drug minor.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter if it's rape or murder.
Yes,
Lawsuit's a
I
lawsuit.
was gonna say, it's my understanding that that's the same guideline that HUD uses, so, I mean, I don't think that
it's been tried in other communities throughout the state and other places, and the communities, anytime it was tested, the communities loved it. That's one of the reasons why it was changed from a lifetime ban to a 7-year. Yes,
Yes, I'd like to see that there have been several other cities across the Commonwealth. Norristown was one, somewhere up near Hazelton. They've stopped enforcing their ordinances, and they may have also repealed them. They're very similar to the ones that you've passed. And I gotta say, I think this looks like it's heading towards a legal battle that could cost the city.
but we're
That's all I
not
have to
here
say.
to discuss that. We're not, if you have an issue with that, you need to bring it to council meeting or come to the code office. We're here to talk.
I came when you guys passed it.
Excuse me, please sit down. Thank you.
I can stand.
I understand. But we're here to help the landlords in any way we can. All right? And we're not sitting here, we're not gonna get into a discussion about this, that, this is right, that's not right. That's not what this meeting's about. Is there any other questions? Yes?
I'd just like to have the magistrate help out the landlords. When you if you wanna evict somebody, they got their process where it could take, I know, but it'd be nice if we could have that one there. If you go in there, you have a tenant that didn't pay your rent for 3 months, you can't throw the stuff out, you gotta do the process.
Like I said, we
I know,
we don't have any
right, but
recourse over
if
this.
we could get more people for the magistrate to do their job, wouldn't that help?
And I guess
No.
the best way I can answer that, if the landlord would do a better research on renting to the tenant, he probably wouldn't be having that problem in the first place.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
That unified judicial portal that we gave there, I kind of drew up the guidelines for it, so you're gonna have to get in and play with it yourself. But in there, there's like 5 different categories. You can research, when you're researching it, you can research it down to landlord/tenants. So you got information you can look up.
I just went on that the other day, and it said it was shut down due to lack of funding.
That was on it today.
That's the app. The app was shut down, not if you go directly
Oh, okay.
to the website.
That was good.
I want to thank you people for coming.
I wasn't joking.
I'm impressed with the interest that was shown in this. We will probably have more of these things as we go on. My biggest concern is we need to get that landlord and tenant form straightened out. And it might take 2 to do it. Because it's redundant on a year-to-year basis. To make the people that are continually have the same renters year after year after year, provide those pictures and this and this and this. It's just too redundant as far as I'm concerned. I can only guarantee you what I'm gonna do while I'm in office. I'm not in office anymore, then that's, but I really, yes.
gonna address the water.
So I understand this ID thing, you just want their face and the address they're living
Yeah,
at.
actually-
Everything else can be blacked out.
Yes, sir. We're not looking for any
All right, I
driver's
get
license
that.
numbers.
I just want to clarify
Yeah.
that because when I read that thing, I interpret it differently. The other thing I'm concerned about is, is there an appeal process? Should we have problems with violations?
An appeal process is.
Yeah, like you outright give us either a loss of license and or suspension of license and those
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
there's
things.
an appeal,
Yeah.
Is there an
absolutely.
appeal or an appellate board?
Yes.
It's on
Yes.
the very last page of the document, it's the very last point. you may appeal to the city of Sunbury's council, revocation or non-renewal of rental permit within 30 days of that revocation or non-renewal of the
But
permit.
what I'm asking you is, who exactly does that go before, and who is involved in that?
First group of people
That
will
would
be
be the
city
city
council,
council.
and if you're not satisfied with what you're told by them, you're allowed to appeal it to the judicial system, am I correct?
Okay,
Yes.
all right, thanks.
Yep. Again, I want to thank you all for coming.
Yep.
And like I said, I want to.
That's why we're all here.
Right, well, just say where we came in.